Hello everyone, and welcome to another episode of Crafty Beer Reviews. Today, I will be reviewing Bell's Neptune. This is the final release in the Planet series, which is based off of the Gustav Holst composition. Now, at time of recording, this is a little over 4 weeks old. It's like 4.5 weeks old, so still pretty fresh. Just showed up here in Ohio, finally. So, I've been looking forward to trying this one since this completes the series after, over a year now. So, crazy stuff. This one could also be alternatively titled Everything But the Kitchen Sink Stout because, wow, there's a shitload of ingredients. Now, I did not memorize them, so I'm just going to have to read them to you. So they are using black pepper, hickory bark, dandelion root, spices, molasses, and maple syrup with cayenne pepper, star anise, raisins, and dates. Woo! That is a lot to throw into a stout. Apparently this is based off of a homebrew that Larry Bell did back in the day, which is pretty cool. But yeah, sounds pretty crazy. Let's go ahead and check out the aroma. Well, the good news is it's not as bad smelling as I thought it was going to be with all that shit stuffed in here. Yeah, up front, I mean, it kind of smells like a traditional stout. I get a lot of roasted malt notes. I'm getting some dark chocolates. Definitely getting some coffee in there for sure. I get a little bit of like caramel and toffee, like sweeter malt notes. I am getting kind of like this herbal or maybe like a slight floral kind of character going on too. I don't really know where that's coming from. I do get the peppers, but they're really, really mild. It's like that kind of pepper skin kind of notes. And just kind of a faint, I don't want to say generic spiciness, but I can't think of anything else. It's not like a heat kind of spice, but just like a kind of spicy notes. Yeah, all in all, I'm getting some of the stuff, but other stuff I don't really pick up on. It's got a little bit of a milder aroma than I would have thought. So let's go ahead and check out the taste. Oh, that's interesting. Up front, a lot of chocolate, like a bittersweet dark chocolate bar kind of. And then as it sits on the palate, it slowly gets more and more roasty. It's kind of got that like a little bit of that bitter roasted malt note. I'm definitely getting some coffee in the background too. I do get a little bit of like a licorice kind of note, which I guess is coming from the star anise. I'm also getting, again, a little bit of this kind of like floral, herbal kind of note going on. Again, it's kind of weird and not really sure what it's coming from. I guess it could be the dandelion root or could be some of the spices because they don't say all the spices they put in here. Definitely on the sweeter side, I do get a little bit of like this burnt sugar kind of note, which I guess would be the molasses or maybe the maple syrup potentially, but it's definitely not as sweet as I would assume given what they've thrown in here. Yeah, as it continues to warm in the glass too, I'm actually getting more toffee, caramel, definitely more of like the sugary sweetness in there for sure. And I do get the peppers more on the back end. They're not hot, they're not spicy. It's more of that pepper skin kind of note that I get from, you know, like anchovies or cayenne or anything like that really, but it's not bad. I was expecting this to be absolutely terrible given what they threw in here. I don't necessarily get everything that they put in here, but I mean it's basically an Imperial Stout and it's not bad at all. It's on the thicker side of medium for a body. It's not quite full body. It is slightly chewy though. It's got a very creamy coating mouthfeel. And for 9%, the alcohol is very well hidden. I don't taste it. I don't feel it whatsoever. It's an interesting beer, you know? Each sip, I think, lends a little bit different flavors. Like, I definitely get the chocolate, the coffee, this big kind of bitter roasted malt note every single time, but sometimes I get a little more of this pepper note. Sometimes I get a little bit more of, like, the kind of maple syrup, toffee, caramel, kind of burnt sugary sweetness, and I have a glaze on my lips. Like, this is no joke. It's definitely on the sweeter side, but the roasted malt notes is definitely enough to kind of balance out that, you know, sweeter note. And for being raisins and dates, I really am not getting too much in the way of, like, dark fruits. I'm thinking maybe as this ages, those would come up a little bit more, but yeah, it's definitely a different beer, although overall, for the most part, it just tastes like a traditional Imperial Stout. So, in terms of rating, guys, I'm going with an 8.6 out of 10. I'm actually enjoying it. I do think a lot of these things they probably could have done without, and I'm not sure why they added them. But it's, it's a decent Imperial Stout. It's not going to blow your mind. There's nothing too crazy complex about it, but I definitely don't hate it. Now, I also wanted to do like a little bit of like kind of a retrospective on the entire series. By the way, if you guys have not seen my other reviews, I reviewed every single beer in the Planet series, so go check it out. I actually do have a playlist for it. But I would say, in terms of all the beers I had, I would say that Mars, Uranus, and Saturn were easily the three best, and to be honest, the other ones I could have done without. I'm kind of one of those people, if I start a series, whether it's books or movies or whatever else, I really, really get anal and I want to finish it no matter what. So I wanted to have this collection after I had Mars and I got, Venus and all those, but it was okay. I hope that whatever Bell's decides to do next is a little bit more interesting. I love the concept, but a lot of the beers just were kind of lackluster, and honestly, if you guys are saving some of these beers to drink, Uranus and Mars are going to fall off like crazy, so I wouldn't hold on to those. The other beers, I mean, you could pretty much. I think overall Saturn was easily the best of the bunch, followed by Uranus and Mars, and the other ones were like, okay, this one probably would be like number 4 or something if I had to do a list. But yeah, if you guys have checked this one out, let me know. Alright, that does for this beer review. Please remember to rate, comment, and subscribe. And remember, I hope whatever you're doing involves good craft beer. See ya.